following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Tonight, Kraft Music Hall presents The Kopykats.
You know the Kopykats. Edie Adams, David Fry, Frank Fortune, George Kirby, Rich Little, Will Jordan, the Kopykats. Ooh, the Kopykats. Ooh, the Kopykats. Think that they are Richard Nixon, Kirk Douglas, the Kopykats. They wear 100 hats, 'cause they're the Kopykats. Who carbon copy the stars. Come out whoever you are. Lee, Margaret, Walter, Brennan, Bing Crosby, Carol Channing, Nat Cole, Nelson Rockefeller, Geraldine and Zsa Gabor. Come out whoever you are. Al Jolson, Henry Fonda, Jimmy Cagney, William Buckley, George Burns, Earl Bailey, Mark Gable, Ethel Merman, and more. And more. The Kopykats. Ooh, the Kopykats. Ooh, the Kopykats. Think that they are
Truman Capote.
Kopykats. They wear 100 hats, 'cause they're the Kopykats. Who carbon copy the stars. When you turn the Kopykats loose, who knows who these cats will produce? Alfred Hitchcock, Howard Cosell, Ed Sullivan. Whoa, the Kopykats. Ooh, the Kopykats. Ooh, the Kopykats. Think that they are Humphrey Bogart, Sabu, the Kopykats. They wear 100 hats, 'cause they're the Kopykats. Carbon copy the stars.
Burt Lancaster,
The faces familiar.
Hubert Humphrey,
The voices we love. Ella Fitzgerald. Our with us this evening.
Lady Bird.
Courtesy of the Kopykats. Whoa, the Kopykats. You know the Kopykats. Edie Adams, David Fry, Frank Gorshin, George Kirby, Rich Little, Will Jordan. Well, who do they think they are?
Kraft Music Hall, brought to you by Kraft. Kraft for good food and good food ideas.
Children grow up so fast. One day they're dependent on you for their every mouthful. Next thing you know, they're asking for milk for their coffee. How many glasses of milk do you pour while your child is growing up? How many slices of Velveeta do you cut? When it comes to nutrition, nothing comes closer to milk than Velveeta pasteurized processed cheese spread from Kraft. A 2-ounce slice of Velveeta provides more protein, calcium, phosphorus, and vitamin A than an 8-ounce glass of whole, fresh milk. That means added wholesomeness on hamburgers, a whole layer of added nourishment in casseroles, even the simplest, most inexpensive ones, and extra flavor and nutrition in salads. All by itself, a 2-ounce slice of Velveeta is a handful of protein, a good thing to remember for snacks. Wholesome, nutritious Velveeta, one to grow on, from Kraft.
Shut up! You better shut up! You hear? I said you better shut up! Gentlemen of the Presidential Cabinet, as the President's private secretary, Geraldine, woo! I have an announcement to make. Here come the press.
I've called this meeting for the 100th time to make it perfectly clear I am the president. And I'm going to look pretty silly holding my hands up like this unless you start applauding me. After all, I am
I renounce the president of the United States and he walks in, I'm still surprised. The devil made me say that. Sit down, honey, rest your feet.
Gentlemen, I've called this cabinet meeting to ask your help in preparing my State of the Union address. First of all, I'd like to hear from my Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare, Mr. Burt Lancaster.
President, everything is fine in the country. Just fine. It couldn't be better.
Well, if everything couldn't be better, what's this I read in the papers about millions of people being unemployed?
We're making a study of that, Mr. President. And we're making a fine study.
Well, what about our pollution?
Mr. President, we've got the finest pollution in the world. It's just fine. I wonder who that could be.
Hello. It's the Vice President, Agnew.
Thank you, sweetheart. Hello there, Skirlo. How are you? Dump you? Don't be silly. I put you on, trust me. Now, Skirlo, don't throw those big words at me. Remember, I gave you those big words to begin with. I was only kidding.
Interrupt, I'm so sorry. How y'all? Oh, excuse me, Mr. President. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I must have forgotten Lyndon's slippers. Now, we packed in such a hurry, they just gotta be here someplace that don't mind me. Go on with your meeting, and I'll just look for them.
All right, Echo. Take a memo immediately. I want all the locks in the White House changed immediately. Signed, your president. And let me make this perfectly clear. I am the president.
I didn't find Lyndon's slippers, but he's been looking all over the ranch for beers.
I just love your dress.
Yes, that's a fine dress. It's just fine.
Oh, you really like it?
Yes.
Oh, the devil made me buy this dress.
Hello. What's that, honey? You kidding? You gotta be putting me on. You mean to tell me that the Secretary of Defense, Stewart, is on his way over here to tell us the verdict on the World War III? We can't have no World War III, honey. Woo! I just bought me a new hat.
I'm sure it's a fine hat. Just fine.
Mr. President! Gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry to come busting in like this. Well, what is it? What is it? This is very important. Well, all right, what is it?
Yeah, I have... No, that's not it. That's not it. I have it here, Mr. President. This is very important, sir.
Come on, because I want to know how much time I got left to wear my new hat.
Wait, did I have it in the blue suit this morning? No, I didn't. I had it in this...
Oh, come on with it. Let's see it.
I'm hurrying. I'm hurrying. Yes. Perhaps if I went and sorted through this, sir, and then we can get to it.
There's a crisis.
Hello. What's that, honey? Okay, I'll tell him. It's the all clear. Woo! The crisis is over, honey.
That's it, Mr. President. That's it. The crisis is over.
One more thing, Mr. President. Lyndon's just finished his autobiography and wants to know what you think of the title. LBJ, the last of the great presidents.
I hate that title. And another thing, I hope when you get home, Lyndon picks you up by the ears. I am the president.
Fine president. Just fine.
That's for you.
Hubert, you'll never guess where I am.
Now see here, Scarlett. Take one last look at my handsome face because I'm leaving town. And do you know why? Because you met someone who knocked you back on your heels. Well, hooray and hallelujah. You had it coming to you. Goody-goody for him, goody-goody for me. And I hope you're satisfied, you rascal, you. Are you satisfied, Pearly May?
Satisfied, honey, I'm delighted. Listen, now, you can walk right out of my life. Men, who needs them? Who needs them? I do, honey. Let me tell you. You can sail on a ship by yourself. Take a nap or a nip by yourself. You can get into debt on your own. But let me tell you, honey, there's lots of things that you can do alone. But it takes two to tango, to really get the feeling of romance. Oh, honey, come on, I can just feel it all, dance all over the floor all night. You have the dance of love.
Everybody loves somebody sometime.
Oh, Dino, you sure sing fine.
Love someone somehow.
But I'm looking for somebody who can do the tango.
Something in your kiss is gold. But sometimes it's wrong.
I seen you, baby, and you have trouble walking. Yes, you do.
Got the food alive. Right of life. The gods I cast away. Must decline it's my life. Why can't I fall in love till I turn to give a time? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am.
You're a singing fool. I'm looking for a dancing fool.
Oh, April shower. They come your way.
I think the bird may find her women, honey.
They bring the flower.
Oh, Jolie, honey.
That blooming ray.
Oh, I think we can make beautiful music together. No, hold it, honey.
Well,
I ain't singing no mammy songs. No.
Rosie.
That's
you
better.
are my Rosie.
Oh, you know my name ain't Rosie.
You are my heart's brigade.
You know my name is Birdman, you dog.
I'm out.
Yes.
Here is the moonlight.
Oh, there's magic in the moonlight.
There's something sweet, love.
You getting to me.
I wanna say.
Oh, honey, when you got it, you just flaunt it all over the place. That's what you do.
Your honey, your boy's waiting.
Well, what are you waiting for, child? Here I am.
Those ruby, those lips to green.
You devil, you.
So aggravating. Am I blushing, Rosie?
Now, hold it. How can you tell I'm blushing?
Early, you ain't heard nothing yet. Rock-a-bye, baby. When I'm pitching melody. Soft and low, just as though you're
Hold it. There you go. Back to that mammy business. Give me, honey.
Yeah.
What I cry for?
So you got the kind of kisses that I die for. You know your baby, hurry.
Yeah, honey. Now I feel much better. Love me, honey.
Brothers and sisters and beloved members of the family of man, we must all learn to open our hearts and our minds to the joy of fulfillment. There is a very simple road to this inner happiness, and it is contained in 3 great words. The first word is love, the second word is peace, and the third word is a word from Kraft.
Parties start right with quick, easy-to-serve snacks like Kraft French Onion Tease Dip. It's perfect with crackers, chips, and corn snacks. Or try vegetables with Kraft ready-to-serve dip, pasteurized blended Neuchâtel blue cheese. Both tease dips and ready-to-serve dips are quick, easy, and come in a variety of flavors. From Kraft. To Tonight, Kraft invites you to a strawberry social, an old-fashioned event made modern with Kraft Pure Strawberry Preserves. And made so easily. Here's all you do. Combine 1 cup of dairy sour cream with a ½ cup Kraft Pure Strawberry Preserves. Now, here's the social part. On a platter, we've arranged cubes of pound cake which have been toasted to a golden brown. And here, a compote holds chunks of juicy, plump bananas, and the strawberry social is on. Everyone will love dipping into this delicious sauce. This same delightful combination of sour cream and strawberry preserves really tops off Sunday morning pancakes, too. Stack the pancakes, warm from the griddle, then ladle on the sauce. You can stack them as tall as your appetite. There, 2 delicious ways to use our strawberry social sauce, made with the strawberry preserves that taste even more natural than Grandma's. From Kraft.
Good evening, sports fans. This is Howard Cosell, your penetrating sports analyst, with another one of my slashing interviews. Slash, slash, slash. Today's guest is the author of a new book on sports. The book is called Blood, Guts, and Broken Kneecaps, and we know about those. And here's the author. I'm proud to introduce you to him, Mr. Truman Capote.
Hi, sports fans. Hi out there.
Mr. Capote, since you're now qualified yourself as a sports expert in football, without doubting you, which do you think is more effective? Could you tell me this, the umbrella pass defense or the well-known zone pass defense?
Well, before I answer that question, I'd like to mention that Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis is a very, very close friend of mine. And I don't like to go through an entire interview without mentioning that just once.
Fine, just fine. Now, can we get down to business?
Of course.
What do you think about the zone defense?
What do I think about, well, let me say this. I'm also an intimate friend of her sister, Princely Radziwill. And contrary to some gossip mongers, they love each other. I got through an entire interview once without mentioning that fact, and I didn't sleep for a week.
Fine, just fine. Jim Dandy. Now, what about the zone defense? Could you tell my fans about it, please?
Well, guess who else is a good friend of mine?
I don't know. Who else is a good friend of yours?
Guess, you gotta guess.
I don't want to guess.
Okay, don't guess. See if I care.
Now, about the zone defense. The Duchess of Windsor?
Well, the Duchess of Windsor is, of course, a very close friend of mine, but she's not the close friend I was thinking about. Now let's get back to football. I think the zone defense is a very...
Gloria Vanderbilt.
Well, Gloria is a very, very close friend of mine, but she's not the close friend I had in mind. The zone defense is a very good passing defense against a red-dogging team like the Kansas City Chiefs. Those big linebackers running in, it's marvelous. It really
I have it, Princess Margaret. Queen Elizabeth.
No.
Trisha Nixon, you're not going to kid me on this.
Triple no.
I know who it is. The Greek lady, I knew it all the time. Queen Frederica of Greece.
Sports fans, will talk more about the zone defense some other time when we get rid of this name dropper.
Please, is it Madam Chankai-shek? I don't think I can sleep tonight unless I know it. Tell
Good
me.
night. Good night, sports fans. Good night.
Hello, darling. It's so nice to have you back where you belong, huh? You're looking swell, Dolly. Oh, I can tell, Dolly. You're still glowing. You're still growing. You're still going strong. Now, all those names who have played Dolly, and other names who wish they'd play Dolly. Everybody sings those songs from way back when, my little friend. So, take the floor, Edie. Show the gals what for, Edie. Clear the staircase, clear the track, I tell you, this gal is a crackerjack. She's gonna bring Carol Channing back again. You dirty rats.
Wave your little hand. You ain't gonna see me anymore. But when you discover that your life is dreary, don't you come knocking at my door. I'll be all dolled up and singing a song that says, you dog, I told you so. So wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie. Dearie should have said so long ago. Isn't that right, Marlena?
Oh, yes. Takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, to bring back the sweet things in life. Speaking of sweet, hit it, Shirley.
The rain passes by. I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's hot lot with the rest of them, with the best of them. I can hold my head up high before the parade passes by.
Well, now listen, big boy. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet. And when I'm good, I'm very, very good. But when I'm bad, I'm better. Because it only takes a moment to be loved and anything else you got in mind. So why don't you come up and see me sometime? How about that, Phyllis?
I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer, making me recall how lovely love can be. Oh, that thing. He's some lover on our honeymoon. He put a please disturb sign on our bedroom door. So I will proudly wear ribbons in my hair. Honey, Moses couldn't part this hair. Shining so that he won't notice me. What do you think about that, Barbara? I mean, it's your picture, baby.
You're looking swell. You're still glowing, you're still growing, you're still growing. Strong.
One of my old favorite songs from way back when. So, bridge like Dallas, find me an empty Dallas. Darling, I'll never go away. Promise I'll never go away. Darling, I'll never go away. Again.
This is George Burns. As I was telling my good friend Jack Bennett the other day, you all know Jack. He laughs at everything I say, except when I call him collect. Then he just loses his sense of humor. You know, I was telling Jack that traveling has changed a lot since the days when he was younger. And he said, I know. They don't have a guy riding shotgun anymore. But you know, I love to travel, especially by plane. In fact, I have a whole set of airline luggage. And the reason they call it airline luggage is because it's easier to lose.
Excuse me, darling.
Oh,
sweetheart, you don't understand. I just did a terrible silly thing. I checked 5 pieces of luggage on the wrong plane. 4 bags full of my most beautiful diamonds, and 1 with all my old marriage certificates. Could you help me, darling?
Oh, well, steady. You gotta keep calm, copacetic, and beaming on the beam. Cruise down life's highway. And everything's gonna be just as fine as mine. But now, as I look at the cans on the old clock on the old wall, it's time for you to catch your plane.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes? Oh, it's you, Paul.
Darling, I have a terrible problem.
Now, Miss Gabor, let me put it to you. Did you or did you not, on the date in question or at any other time previously or subsequently say or intimate to the defendant or anyone else, whether friend or acquaintance, or in fact a stranger, that the statement imputed to you, whether just or unjust, and denied by the baggage man was a matter of no moment or otherwise? Did you or did you not?
Would you repeat the question?
Did you or did you not?
I've got to tell somebody else. This is ridiculous. Oh, darling, excuse me, but I have to get my bags off the wrong plane. I got to talk to this gentleman over here. Excuse me, sweetheart, but my baggage is on the plane to London. And I don't...
Yes, very good indeed, very good indeed. Yes, I know. Would you like to buy a Maltese Falcon?
Perhaps you can help me, darling. I have this terrible problem. No one can understand me around here. Can you help me?
Can I help you? Let me just say this. Not wishing, of course, to appear avuncular or to indulge in imprecatory castigation, my peremptory adjuration would be simply this. Would you, young lady, quiescently indulge in imbibition until I can ameliorate rather than exacerbate the contretemps?
Oh, thank goodness. I finally find someone who speaks Hungarian.
How do you do? My name is Sabu, and I'm here to rub my magic lamp for you. I will make a wish, and you will see a tasty dish from a craft recipe. I wonder who the genie shall be, but I have a feeling it's Ad Herlahy.
If you like the good, fresh tastes Kraft brings you now, the freshness of Philadelphia brand cream cheese, a distinctive flavor of Miracle Whip salad dressing, just wait until you taste the country fresh flavor now in soft parquet margarine, a fresh butter-like flavor and an even smoother texture than before.
It's even better than it used to be, and I love the way it spreads. With the cost of things today, why in the world would I ever buy butter? I didn't know margarine could taste so good. We don't say pass the butter anymore. We say pass the parquet.
If you like the good, fresh flavors Kraft brings you now, just wait until you taste the country fresh flavor now in soft parquet margarine. It's Kraft at its best.
I've never tried a craft product my family didn't love.
No. I want to use only new acts on our 20th anniversary show. I can't talk to you right now. I'm very, very busy with our show. No, look, it's nothing against you. It's like I told your agent. I think you're the finest trained bear we ever had on our show. Thanks again for calling, and give my regards to your brother, Gentle N. Now, where's my producer, Roberto, Bobby? Ah, there you are. Now, you know, Bob, we've been together on TV a long time, a sensational number of years. 23 years, you're my most loyal friend. I understand you have a really big idea for our anniversary shoot. Is that true? Is that true? Is that true?
Yes, Ed, I think my ideas are a really, really big one. I really do.
Do you really?
I really, 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 really do.
Well, I'm glad that you really do.
Now, Ed, right now, I'd like to present my idea to you, right here on this stage, an idea which has just concluded a successful 2-week run right here in my brain.
We'll be back in just a minute to hear your fine, fine idea. But first, here's a word from our cameraman, George. All right, now, young fella. What about our anniversary show? Do you have any sensational ideas for us?
I really think that I have a really big one for you.
Do you really?
I really do.
He really does.
Well, I'm glad he really does. Now, for the first time anywhere, here is a sensational, remarkable idea from this young fella, George.
Thank you. Now, to get your anniversary show off to a really big start, Ed, I thought for this show, to be really special, we'd ask everybody in the audience to stand up and take a bow and have all the celebrities remain seated.
Well, how about that for a really fine idea?
Did you enjoy that? Did you?
Oh, come on, let's really hear it. Really fine idea. You drop in again, you hear?
I will. Good night.
Oh, by the way, while you're up there, say hello to the lighting man and give him my regards from Sylvia and me and say we're going to drop up to see him.
Oh, I will, yeah.
Moving right along with our show. Right now, we're going to bring out a fine musical talent from our staff. Fellow who writes all the musical songs for our shoe. Raimundo, where are you?
Well, Edo, I was thinking it'd be nice if we had something for all the little youngsters out there, you know, the kiddies. My idea is to present on your stage next Sunday night a real big surprise. All the way from Mawa, New Jersey. None other than the mighty Mawa Marching Midget Merchant Marine Militiamen. And for the old-timers, the Seattle Combination Civic Symphony and Broad Jumping Team, who will hurt themselves for you by leaping on their instruments.
Boy, that's really big.
Well, I thought you'd...
No, it's quite all right. I really just want to thank you all for your just fine ideas. But right now, I've come up with an idea of my own.
What's that?
I thought to give this show a real big lift this week if I stayed home.
Stayed home.
Do the show without you, Ed?
Right, I thought we'd get one of these impersonator fellows, a mimic, to come in and do an impersonation of me.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. No one can imitate you.
He's right, Ed. You're really very unique. You're one of a kind. Thanks, Evan.
Well, I want to thank you all for your really fine loyalty. And I happen to agree with you. But this youngster, this young, fine young fella, does the most fantastic impression of me, and I'm going to show you right now. Kathy Keel, would you send that young man out char on our show right over here?
Why, I will, and I really will. I'll bring him right out here, right now on this stage, and show it right now. And here he is to do his impression of Ed Sullivan.
Good evening and welcome to our really big shoot. Tonight, right here on our stage, the bouncing Bartoks will bounce for you, and a group of baton twirlers from the Sheet Metal Trades High School will laugh.
Why, that's the worst impression I ever heard.
Somebody get a rope. That is awful. What happened to you? You were so good at the audition. What do you want? I'm new at the business. Get him out.
Hello, headquarters. This is Broderick Crawford. Now listen to me and listen to me good. We're on the lookout for a big talent. He uses the voices of just about everybody and goes under the name of George Kirby. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Be careful, he's on with one of the best acts in show business. If apprehended and he refuses to talk, just put the spotlight on him and he'll be happy to sing. I repeat, be on the lookout for George Kirby. 10-4, 10-4, 10-4. Hey, I'm getting a ball game.
It's only a paper moon hanging over the cards, but it wouldn't make believe if you believe in me. It's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make believe if you believe in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody playing on a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believe in me. Oh, the shark has pretty teeth, dear, and he keeps them pearly white. Just a jackknife as a maggie, dear, and he keeps them out of sight. Hell is far the way you look at me. Oh, it's for the only one that I see. He is very, very extraordinary. He is even more than anyone that you adore. The shark is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game. Say to take my heart, please don't break it, love. I was laid for you. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believe. 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 Oh, yeah.
Good evening, and welcome to this NBC special. One of the complaints about our system of government is that once a man retires from political life, he's finished, out, gone, through, done, unfit for anything else. We say, not true. Many of our leading politicians have other talents if only they'd be put to use. For instance, what would be the perfect job for Mr. Rockefeller once he leaves politics?
I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day.
breathing in the smoke and ashes, and I lost my voice that way.
Very cute. Good evening, Governor.
Oh, hi there, fella. How are you?
Governor, I see you're working for the Long Island Railroad. Have you done anything to improve the service?
Well, of course I did. I noticed the trains were usually an hour behind schedule, but I fixed that.
May I ask how?
I printed the new timetables. The trains are still an hour late, but the passengers don't know it yet.
Well, thank you, Governor, and good luck.
Well, the same to you, fella. Here we go. Woo-woo!
Woo-woo. Woo-woo. And now out to the Middle West to see what ex-Vice President Hubert Humphrey is doing, has done, might do, will do, perhaps, possibly, maybe. Are you there, Mr. Humphrey? Humpy?
Yes, of course I think I am. Of course I never know. Oh, gosh, yes, of course I am. By golly, and good evening, David. I'm glad you're here. I've been expecting you to arrive, and I'm glad you have arrived, because that means, of course, that you're here. Or to put it another way, quite simply...
No, thank you, sir. That way was just fine.
Well, thank you, David.
Humphrey, how do you feel about your new job as elevator operator?
Well, David, I'll be honest. I'm tickled pink and proud as punch, just as happy as I can be, and let me tell you why. Look here over this elevator, just two small words, up and down. But there's so much that can be said about them, and of course I will. You see, David, and my fellow Americans, I've been up and I've been down, and believe me, Hubert Humphrey knows what up is, and I also know what down is. That's up. And that's down. But in this great land of ours, just because a man is down doesn't mean he's down for good. No, sirree. A man can be down and then go up again. Or he can be up and then go down again. But the main thing, and hear this for goodness sake, don't get stuck between the floors. As I was saying to Muriel just the other day, standing right here where I'm standing now, I said, Muriel, if you want to be forward-looking, always face the front of the elevator, then you'll be looking forward. Or to use different words, and believe me, Hubert Humphrey's got plenty of those.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, but I'm afraid we've run out of time.
It's when you're facing backward, looking, as it were, with your front to the back and your back to the front. And I like to say this, a man can be up or a man can be down and then go down, but the main thing is lit.
Well, that's our special for tonight. Too bad there wasn't anything special about it. Good night, folks. Good night, Chet. Shucks, I forgot.
Yeah, well, I'm Lee Marvin, and you better believe it, Poppy. You know, I just made a picture called Paint Your Wagon. And everybody thought I was crazy because I sang a song called I Talk to the Trees. Well, here's a guy who's really crazy. He talks to the cheese. And they said I couldn't do comedy.
Sure, I've been riding hard and long all day, and golly, I could use a long and hard drink to just get this out of my throat.
Well, I hear tell that Black Bart is broken out of jail, and he's riding into town to get you.
That's so. Well, who's Black Bart anyway?
Black Bart? Well, he's the most vicious killer in the whole West. You had it out with him, and you're the one that sent him up to jail.
I'll be darned.
You don't understand, Sheriff. Black Bart is riding into town to kill you.
Sheriff, Bart's riding into town to kill you. Black Bart's riding into town to kill you.
I know that. He just told me.
I get to tell the sheriff that Bart's riding into town to kill him? Doggone it, I always get to tell the sheriff that Bart's riding into town to kill him. You take that away from me and you ain't got nothing.
Take it easy, tumbleweed.
Yeah, well, it's all right for you to say take it easy. You're a handsome, silent, brave chef, but I'm just an excitable old codger. Take that away from me and I ain't got nothing. Now listen to me. I'm gonna tell you one more time. Black Bart's coming into town to kill you. Now, you're the fastest draw in the West. You should be able to take care of yourself.
I just can't do it. I can't shoot Black Bart.
Why not?
Well, the reason is I promised the school marm I'd never carry a six-shooter again.
But that's ridiculous. The school mom carries 2 6-shooters. Wait, she's a vicious killer.
I know, but she says one killer in the family is enough. Frankly, tumbleweed, I don't mind admitting it. I enjoy it. It's relaxing being a sissy.
Sheriff, I don't believe what they're telling me. I just came back into town to get a fresh start, not to kill you. Well, look at me. Do I look like a killer?
He told you he'd be back, and I told you he'd be back, and even he told you he'd be back, and he wasn't even supposed to tell you. You clock?
Sheriff, I came back to town to tell you that even though you sent me to jail for 10 years, I'm not mad.
Sheriff, I'm going to tell you one more time. Black Bart is going to kill you.
10 long years, Sheriff. I broke my back. Broke my back. But I'm not mad, you understand? I'm not mad.
You're not? Well, I guess your bark is worse than your bite.
Nothing's worse than my bite.
Next thing, I'll be hearing you ride side saddle.
Well, now I'm mad. I guess I'm gonna have to count to 3 and kill you, Sheriff. 1, 2.
Yeah, 3.
I think it's gonna be fun. Just fun.
Say, I'm just a lovable old deputy, and I went and shot him. So what do I need the sheriff for?
And what do I need you for? Now I can say Black Bart is coming to town. Gosh, that feels good. Black Bart is coming to town. Black Bart is coming to town.
In the last scene of Camelot, King Arthur has been forced into a war that means the end of his Knights of the Round Table. It's played on Broadway by Richard Burton. It became a moment of high drama as his despair turned into hope. Who are you, boy? Where'd you come from? You ought to be in bed. You can't be more than 14. Are you a page? Came to fight for the Round Table. I see. You're very good with the bow. You think you will kill people with this bow of yours? A great many. Suppose they kill you. You don't intend to be dead. You intend to be a knight of the Round Table. What do you think you know of the Knights of the Round Table? Everything. Might for right, right for right, justice for all. A round table where all knights could sit. Everything. When did you decide upon this non-existent career? When you were a small boy, was your village protected by night? Was your mother saved by a night? Did your father serve a night? None of those? You wish to be a knight because of the stories that people tell. Come here, boy. Tell me your name. What is your home? Kneel, Tom, kneel. With this sword, Excalibur, I knight you, Sir Tom of Warwick, and I command you to return home and carry out my orders. You will not fight in the battle, do you hear? You will run behind the lines and hide in a tent until it is over. Then you will return to your home in England, alive, to grow up and to grow old. Do you understand? And for as long as you live, you will remember what I, the king, tell you. You will do as I command. Each evening from December to December, before you drift to sleep upon your cot, think back on all the tales that you remember of Camelot. Ask every person if he's heard the story. Tell it strong and clear if he has not. That once there was a fleeting wisp of glory called Camelot.
Camelot, Camelot, I know it gives a person pause.
But in Camelot, Camelot, those were the legal laws, where once it never rained till after sundown. By 8 a.m. the morning fog had flown. Don't let it be forgot that once there was a spot for one brief shining moment that was known.
This year, set a festive holiday table with your very own pear tree. It's a snap to make with canned Bartlett pears and the lively, uncopyable flavor of Miracle Whip salad dressing. First, a little greenery. Tint pear halves in pear syrup mixed with green food coloring. Then spoon on cottage cheese snapped up with Miracle Whip and garnish. Next come pear halves filled with crisp shredded cabbage, shredded Cracker Barrel brand cheddar cheese, chopped green pepper, and Miracle Whip. The final touch, holiday red pear halves topped with a tantalizing mix of celery, Kraft miniature marshmallows, chopped walnuts, and the smooth, subtle seasoning of Miracle Whip. Look for complete recipes in the November Ladies' Home Journal. Then make your own pear tree. It tastes as special as it looks because it's made with a very special combination. Canned Bartlett pears and uncopyable Miracle Whip from Kraft.
Well, that's our show for tonight. We couldn't say goodnight without expressing our thanks to the people who really made this show possible, the stars that we impersonate.
Not only have they made this show possible, they've also helped to make our careers possible.
Yeah, without them, we'd have no one to do impressions of. Not only the stars of the entertainment world, but I'd personally like to thank some of the great political figures of our time.
Yeah, they may not realize it, but they're pretty funny people themselves.
Someone once said imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Well, that goes two ways, because we were all sincerely flattered to have been asked to do our impressions of all these great people this evening. Good night, George.
Good night, Edie.
Good night, David.
Good night, Will.
Good night, Rich.
Good night, Broderick.
Good night, Satchmo. 10-4.
Good night, Cal.
Good night, Lindy.
Good night, Shabu, and adios to you.
Thank you, O wise father. Good night, Duke.
Good night, Kirk. That's about the size of it.
Good night, Frank. Hey, Frank, good night.
Good night, Goldie.
Good night, Hubert.
Good night to you, Groucho.
Good night, Red, and say the secret word.
Good night, and may God bless.
Music Hall has been brought to you by Kraft. Kraft for good food and good food ideas. Kraft, a division of Kraftco Corporation. To get tonight's recipes free, write Kraft November TV recipe. Box 1718, Chicago 60690. A postcard will do. This is Ed Hurley.
Beginning this morning at 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, NBC News will bring you satellite